Hey, this is Night Flame, and today I will be reviewing Future's End, issue number 6. Future's End, for me it was really, an event that I wasn't following from the start. I decided to follow Batman Eternal because, there's like too many weeklies that DC's putting. But then I decided, might as well follow Future's End because to me Batman Eternal it was kind of, it was getting lackluster. Like I was kind of losing my attention to Batman Eternal. I was kind of, not interested in it because I felt it being so repetitive. But I started Future's End, and this is issue number 6. Let's see what I thought about this issue. Okay, so this issue, it has to deal with many of the side plots being, put up in Future's End. We have like side plots from uh, like Batman Beyond. He's supposed to be kind of like the main part of Future's End, but he really isn't. Like, he isn't because he hasn't appeared that much in the book. But in this book, we meet people. I think their name was Coil, um, Coil, and like other three people who are trying to break into Mr. Terrific's tower, in order to, I think they're trying to like either steal his merchandise, like his UTech stuff, or just sabotage it. So, Batman Eternal, who's dressed right now as a homeless person, he's listening to all of this, and he even makes a kind of like a discovery or something. He's like, oh yeah, I know her from before. I don't think if it's either good or bad what she's doing. So maybe the girl who was Coil, she's gonna be presented in Batman Eternal soon or in other Batman titles. So that was really cool. I like that. But what my favorite part was is probably the whole Frankenstein and Amethyst part. Because to me, Frankenstein and Amethyst, there were two characters who had their own books. Didn't go good for them, but to this in this like scene, because they're supposed to go to Phantom Zone in order to see, they're trying to investigate the Stormwatch murder. So I like how they were used in this issue, and you know how they don't want her, they don't want Amethyst doesn't want to call herself. They don't want people to call her princess because she's lost everything, and now she's gonna be called Amethyst, and that's what I really like. Basically all these characters just lost everything, and they're trying to fight for humanity. So that's basically the kind of thing of Future's End. It's basically, right now it's not about it, but it's gonna get to that fighting for humanity thing. And Amethyst, I feel like she's in it, just like her head is in the game. And so she goes with Frankenstein, and I like the interaction between them. Something that I thought would never work, it does work in this issue. And they get attacked by the people in the Phantom Zone. They're like, I guess they're like kind of like in the Phantom form, and one of the person who was attacking them turns out to be Black Adam. That's gonna be followed up the next issue. And we also get the Tim Drake slash Lois Lane thing. Tim Drake is not really dead. Um, he's actually alive, and he works in this bar, and he kind of doesn't want anybody to know that he's Tim Drake. He doesn't like that when people remind him that he was involved with Batman, and Lois Lane, she knows what's going on. So, but Tim Drake quickly dismisses her, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to talk to Lois Lane." And there's a girl in the bar who heard like what Lois Lane was telling him, like, "Oh yeah, you're Tim Drake," and then the girl was like, "Oh, you didn't tell me you were Red Robin," and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, Lois Lane, she's she does this for a living. She can make up bogus headlines just for money, and that's very true. But still, he was Tim Drake. You can obviously see, but a very grown Tim Drake, like kind of like Nightwing. And lastly, we had some smash Superman who's in he's in town. Nobody knows what he wears a mask. There's this guy who was like kind of stalking Lois Lane, but Superman kind of like saves her in a knowing kind of way, because he approaches the guy and he's like, Lois Lane is off limits. And that's really interesting. There's a lot of questions here, like, why does Tim Drake not want to know? Why does Tim Drake not want anyone to know that he's alive? Why is Superman masked? Um, you know, so much murder. Was that like on purpose? Everything. So definitely, I enjoy this issue a lot. My pick of the week, Futures End issue number 6. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. It wasn't perfect because some of the characters were drawn very sketchy, but 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like this video.